Hi there, welcome to End Cancer podcast series. I'm Adam Benigni, and with us today as we preview the 30th Ride for Roswell coming up on June the 28th. Mackenzie, Giancarlo, Allison Lockwood, two ladies who I've had the pleasure of working with for so many years as part of this event, and two that have put up with an awful lot from me.
Definitely.
Welcome. How you guys doing?
Thank you.
Good.
We're excited to be here.
I see I didn't get the required uniform.
I know.
We probably should have texted you. We forgot.
All right. So ride season is rolling, and there's so much in the way of the run-up to this event, and it's the 30th. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal this year, 3 decades, what it's meant to the community, all those things, and the fundraising. $6 million is the goal. Wound up this past year in 2024 at what, just by the time everything was counted, how close?
Really close. 5.95 million in 2024.
All right. So it's that close. Everyone kind of feels like this is going to be the year. I've been aiming for $6 million for so long, and what better than the 30th anniversary? Tell us about plans and how they're going and what people can look for.
Registration is now open, and we're excited about everyone gathering for the 30th anniversary. We have a lot of things coming up. The main new thing is that riders will be required to raise $200 if you're over 16. So no registration fee, but there is a fundraising requirement for the Ride for Roswell this year in hopes of reaching that $6 million goal.
All right. And you talk about $6 million and cumulatively what this is since 1996, what it's amounted to. We don't have that number, but it's in the neighborhood of 80 million or,
yeah.
I mean, it's really, what difference do those dollars make? How much of a difference in terms of what the Alliance raises in the fight against cancer? I mean, I think so many of us who've been close to this event have seen the progress and appreciate the actual results.
I think we always say that over the last decade of us working here, one of the things that's just been amazing is watching the progress from the research and clinical trials that happen here. Things take time, but they truly do come to fruition, and it's just insane to see the progress that gets made. And I think it's important for people to know that now for every dollar that's donated to Roswell Park, that leads to an additional $23 in new grant funding. So you have a $200 fundraising minimum. Think about how far that's going to go,
right? And
how much that's going to help our patients.
All right, Mackenzie. So as you said, $200 minimums, but there are fundraising benchmarks and incentives that come with that. There's the Extra Mile Club that so many riders look forward to being a part of every year at $1,500, and then at $2,500 EMC Silver. Talk about those two and kind of what comes with that level of fundraising.
Yeah, so fundraising milestones start at $200. So at $200, you will receive the lawn sign if you want that delivered to your house. You get the t-shirt on ride day. We have another milestone at $750. And then that Extra Mile Club level starts at $1,500, where you get the jersey, which will be a 30th anniversary jersey this year. You get a special Ride for Roswell Extra Mile Club hat that will have the 30th anniversary on it as well. You'll get the dinner on Friday night, so when we all gather for the Celebration of Hope. And then for EMC Silver, same jersey with a silver tint, so super important for those extra high fundraisers. And those fundraisers are able to participate in the Peloton if they want to.
All right, so $200 minimum, that's new this year. Why?
It's new, and it's also returning from pre-pandemic. So we wanted to bring it back. We wanted every rider to do their part to raise that $6 million. So that is a big goal, raising $6 million, surpassing $6 million. And when you look around on ride day at the start line to see every single rider there with their t-shirt on, with their jersey on, knowing that they raised $200, I think is such an important part of the ride and such an inspiring part of the ride that everyone is there together. And together we're going to raise $6 million.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, when you look at what the Ride for Roswell represents, right? I mean, it's this community and this region coming together and raising money and riding in support of this cause. And it's so well represented. It is a team approach. And when you talk about the $6 million benchmark, Allison, this year or whatever it is over the the 30-year history of this, it's in the neighborhood of $80 million, and the difference that has made. I mean, these funds are so critical to the leading edge research that we're continuing to see come to fruition, and so much that's happening at Roswell Park. The money is vital to continuing in this fight.
We can't keep, advancing the projects and the research that we have going on here without these funds. So it is so important, like Mackenzie said, that everybody steps up and plays their part. There's so many teams that participate in the ride. Our teams raise over 83% of the overall fundraising total. That's incredible. So our team captains, we're really relying on them to motivate their team members and encourage them to do their part and raise the minimum, and really just work together and help us get to that goal.
So much to look forward to, and I know so many riders. But for those that are new to this event, and whether it's 200, 1,500, 2,500, I mean, that's a lot of money. It can seem like a lot, especially if you're new to fundraising and haven't developed a network for that sort of thing yet or whatever. Allison, what tips, advice can you provide on that front?
So I think I speak for both of us that our biggest piece of advice that we say over and over is to always share your story. Everybody has a connection to cancer, unfortunately, whether it's your mom, your dad, a friend, a loved one. Tell people why the ride is so important to you and why you're participating. I think it's really important to drive that home, and sometimes people might not know that you have such a direct tie to the cause. And it's just really important to share that, and it pulls at the heartstrings and really does entice people to donate.
Yeah, there's no question. With 1 in 3, I mean, so many impacted by cancer, it's been one of the huge reasons behind the groundswell and continued success of this event. But in practical terms, I mean, I've heard stories from things like bake sales at elementary schools. Social media is such a powerful tool now in networking and that type of thing. What type of advice can you offer people?
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is always make a donation to your page. That lets people know that you are committed to your fundraising. And we also have decided to reward that, where we'll send you a Ride for Roswell magnet with the 30th anniversary logo on it. So definitely make that commitment and show others that you are committing to your fundraising. Definitely post on social media. You will be so surprised at the people that come out of the woodwork and donate to you. Friends' parents, friends' grandparents, so-and-so's cousin. It always ends up in you learning about different people that are affected, and they'll always give you a donation. And then more kind of tangible things, so bake sales, returning cans, things like that have always been successful for the riders that are trying to reach that $200 minimum. And most of the time when you're striving for 200, you will surpass that. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is try a little bit, and you will get there.
And there are useful tools also on the Ride for Roswell website, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your personal page and that sort of a thing. Ways to interact with your donors, right up through the thank you notes.
Yep. Every rider is set up with a personal fundraising page, and teams have their own team page. You can customize the copy on all of that. You have the ability to connect it with your Facebook. There are email templates in there. So we really try and make sure that there's ways for everybody to utilize that. There's posters on our fundraising tools, recruitment postcards, all sorts of things. There's something for everyone to use.
We also have an app. So we have a Ride for Roswell fundraising app that allows you to do most of that stuff directly from your phone. And it also allows for mobile check deposit. So if you get a check and you don't want to send it in or bring it into the office, you can take a photo of it right through the app and it goes directly on your page. So that has been a game changer for those that still receive checks and want to fundraise that way. The app is super helpful with fundraising.
Excellent. Using the tech to make it happen, everything available. And then there is kind of more the old school approach with some of the social gatherings that take place. And there's plenty of those through the course of the spring that lead up to the event, which of course takes place in June, right? Beers and Gears is one of them. The kickoff event. And with the 30th this year, I know there's a lot of anticipation. What do you guys have in the works, and what can people look for on the calendar?
Yeah, so in March, we do a Spirit Week every year where we kick off our fundraising. So there's usually a match day. There's usually a day for team recruitment. We kind of have a throwback day where we would like to see people's photos from from in the past. And then that all surrounds our kickoff. So our kickoff is on Wednesday, and this will be our second year doing it here at Roswell. So we will allow for riders to take tours and see where their funding is going. Last year was the first year that we did that, and super successful. Ways for riders to see where their funding is going, kind of seeing the tangible things that have happened around the hospital, and riders really enjoyed that and were able to kind of portray that into their fundraising. So that will happen again this year at the end of March.
Beers and Gears is our happy hour series that happens throughout ride season. So the concept around that is we partner with some local breweries, and the cost for someone to attend is $20. That $20 gets you 2 drink tickets, and also in return, that full $20 can then be designated to the riders fundraising of your choice or to yourself if you're riding. So it's a really fun and easy way to bring your family and friends and raise money. The more people you bring, the more that you'll raise, and it's just a nice way to get the ride community together. And we love the support that we get from our partners that are out there. So
yeah, the Beers and Gears is popular, and the tours, Mackenzie, that you had mentioned, I was part of that kickoff event and got that immediate feedback. And when you think about what is happening at Roswell Park with the cell therapy labs, for example, on the cusp of so much, really, leading the fight globally in that way, and to give people access to actually see where the money they've raised over the years and the commitment and the hours they've put into this and the passion they've shown, what it's translating to, the technology, the research, the lives that it's saving and extending. It's a very powerful thing, and especially when you consider a 30th anniversary like this.
We can talk about that, for days, but until you really see it, it's mind-blowing.
It really is. One of the things I've enjoyed, whether it's Ride Day or whatever, there's no shortage of creativity when it comes to this event. The colors, the approaches that people take, the messages they send. I mean, what are some of the things you've seen? Because people really inspire each other in a way through this. And, leading with the Alliance and everything, what have you seen on that front?
Yeah, I mean, it can be as simple as taking a poster to work. You can order all of those tools on our website. Something that has worked for my personal fundraising is sharing a thank you graphic. So all you have to do is create a graphic, put people's names on it, and then that guilts people into donating. So I feel like that works every time.
People love seeing their name on a list.
They really do. Or if they see like their mom's name or their sister's name, then you always get that
I
donation.
look bad.
Yeah. But something that's a lot harder, but results in a lot more funding is a meat raffle, a happy hour. Some people have done bowling. They can kind of anything. People think of a lot of different things that they can do to fundraise. People will get sponsorships from local businesses, things like that come in. Might take a little bit more work, but definitely the results are worth it if you're willing to put that work into your fundraising.
We've seen teams do basket raffles. So, they're all responsible for going out and soliciting for donations. Then they might have an evening where they have all the baskets out and invite their family and friends to come in and win something. And then all the proceeds go back to their ride team. Teams create T-shirts. We have our bonfire app that's in the fundraising dashboard. You can create a T-shirt right on there, and when you sell them, a portion of the proceeds go back to your fundraising. So that's a super easy way, and also a fun way to get your team T-shirt ready for Ride Weekend. We have a team T-shirt decorating contest, so we're taking care of half of that for you and giving you the template. So it's kind of a no-brainer. The sky's the limit with fundraising, and we're excited to see what people do this year.
I think it's important too. I mean, so many, and look, I've been guilty of this in the past, where you kind of are late to the game and you raise your money toward late May or June or whatever. But there's so many for whom this is really a year-round endeavor. And just the examples you gave, the planning that goes into it. But the earlier you get started, I think likely the more successful you're going to be. Right? Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, there's teams that will start fundraising for the following year, the day after the ride. It's insane. People will take their birthdays, which might not be until the summer or the fall, and we're not open for the new year at that point, but they might ask for donations for the upcoming ride rather than a birthday gift. Same thing for Christmas. We see that all the time. A lot of times people use the birth date of a loved one and ask for donations in honor or memory of them, whether it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, what have you, and it works.
Yeah. The birthday. That's what I do. It does work. But it reflects the passion that exists in this group of riders and some of the new ones we have coming on board. I mean, this is going to be such a massive event this year as they celebrate 30 years. So great ideas. I know so many people look forward to, especially with the 30th anniversary, right? The merchandise, what's going to be available. And I imagine, I mean, is there anything that's sort of new and commemorative coming?
There will be. We have some things up our sleeve. We'll definitely have 30th anniversary merchandise for sure. But we're working on a couple of things. I can't share it just yet, but if you're not too busy, I mean, we can do this again. And then hopefully by that point, yeah. You want to come back? All right. Well, we'll sit down. Hopefully we can reveal some of our secrets when we get closer to Ride Weekend and we'll get people ready and tell them what's in store.
I'll have our people talk to your people.
Okay.
And we'll set that.
We'll send you a jersey.
You have to fundraise sooner. Don't wait until the last minute this year.
I know.
Yeah.
You're not the first person.
You're really bad about that.
You're not the first person to tell me that. But I am looking forward to that 30th anniversary jersey and the cycling kit and everything.
When we're ready, we'll show you.
All right. I mean, do you ever take time to, because I know day to day, everyone close to the ride so much goes into the planning and the organization, and that's so evident on ride day. Then you add a 30th anniversary on top of it to really make it significant, to stand out and have it be special and give it its due. But do you ever stop, both of you, to take time and reflect on just what this event has truly become? It's one of the most unique and largest of its kind in the United States. And to see it over 3 decades, the type of celebration that's going to take place. And do you ever step back and say, so because I know I do, wow, this is really incredible and really powerful.
Yeah, I think the magnitude of the ride is super exciting. And every year I feel like we're able probably to appreciate a little bit more. We've been around for a long time. But the moment that I always recognize and get excited about is as soon as the Peloton comes in. We're basically working at UB super, tirelessly until that point, and we're bringing the Peloton in. We're making sure they're in safely. We're all on the radios, and then watching them come in is like, okay, it's here. We're ready for Ride Weekend, and that is super moving, I think, to us, the families, the riders. It really just kicks it off in such an inspiring way. So I think that is. Every year, that's the part that hits me the most.
Yeah, it's Friday night, and we kind of realize, okay, all of our hard work is, we did it. We're here. Let's rock and roll. And I think we really do try and take the time to watch the torch lighting and all of that last year. I think one of my favorite memories is at the Celebration of Hope, our group of staff members grabbed our chicken dinners, and we were sitting on the sidewalk just sitting back watching everything happen, and we finally had a chance to eat, and it was just kind of like that wow moment of, all right, we did it, it's going to be a great day, tomorrow's ride day, let's do it. And it was just kind of comical to see us literally sitting on the side of the parking lot, just exhausted but so excited.
Well, I want to hear you both describe that. First, I want to say thank you, and secondly, to share, I mean, I've had the privilege of riding next to Mitch Flynn, the ride founder in the Peloton, for a number of years, and Channel 2's involvement in all of that. When you turn that corner and come in at the head of the Peloton and see the Celebration of Hope and everyone there, and kind of the culmination of all of your efforts, what's gone into that, and the amount of emotion, support, and everything, it is one of the most powerful feelings. Behind the sunglasses, there's tears. And then on ride day, we live near Dodge, Lori and I do, and we'll sleep in a little bit. We don't come down to UB, we admit. But we come down Campbell and hop on Dodge and jump in. And every year, no matter how many times we've ridden that route on whatever weekend, the minute you jump in to everyone heading out east and to see the colors and the T-shirts and the messages and the memories of loved ones and everything, it hits me every time, every year, and I get choked up. It's ride day. So I think we all share a similar feeling in our
Yeah.
own way with it. It's why we keep coming back every year, and why this is going to be so significant this year in the 30th anniversary and $6 million
Let's do it.
hitting that level. So thanks to the both of you for everything you've done and your time here
We're
today.
excited.
Mackenzie and Allison, senior fundraiser managers with the Roswell Park Alliance Foundation, which does so much to fuel the engine that is the Ride for Roswell. I am Adam Benigni, and thank you for being with us on the 2 on Cancer podcast series.